Right, I think we can all enjoy a feeling of positivity today on the back of the most significant piece of mainstream media content since this whole charade started. Now, of course, I'm talking about the interaction, the conversation between the Health Minister, Health Secretary Sajid Javid, and an intensive care consultant at a hospital, I think in the south of England somewhere. It's been seen by hundreds of millions of people across the world now. And why is this significant? Well, what did we have? We had finally, the mainstream media, in this case Sky News, giving some airtime to somebody in a position of medical authority who had an opinion different to the established and accepted narrative. The way that the conversation went was intriguing. It started with a question from the health secretary, the psychopathic health secretary. And you could see immediately from the body language of the nurses, heads down, not wanting to answer his question, exactly what they thought of the situation with regard to vaccinations in the NHS. But even more pointed was the way that the doctor how he articulated his position clearly, quietly, calmly, respectfully, politely, with a high degree of intelligence, and an argument that made perfect sense, and an argument that many of us also have made. Why is this significant? Well, I've said for a long time, I think the tide's turned quite a long time ago now, but we are in the position where many working within the government apparatus, particularly the NHS, where most of them haven't spoken out. There's been this fear, there's been this unwillingness to get out there and disagree with what the medical tyranny says that they should say. And we need people who are in these positions of medical authority to do exactly what this doctor did yesterday. Not only does it broaden the conversation, but crucially what it does is there are people across the world who are on the fence, who are edging towards us, but who need to hear their view validated from somebody who they perceive to be in a position of authority, i.e. a doctor. It doesn't matter what the likes of me or you say. They need to hear their nagging doubts endorsed and built upon by someone who they see as being, as having a weightier argument than somebody like me. That's why this is so crucial. Now, this clip will have been translated, only a 2-minute clip, translated into every language and gone across the world and gone viral. I'm sure that it has, with just some subtitles in Spanish, in French, in Italian, as to what the conversation was. There's another important angle to this in that I'm intrigued as to why Sky News have released this piece of content, because not only is it, as I say, is it a 2-minute conversation that shines a light on the fact that there are people out there who are willing to go against the established narrative with a different opinion. Not only are there doctors working within the health service who've seen what's been going on and have decided not to take the jab, and who are deciding to make an argument that goes against the government's argument. Not only that, but it makes the health secretary, let's be honest, it makes him look like the dickhead that he is, doesn't it? He came across as arrogant, as bullying, and as dismissive, whereas the consultant came across, as I say, as polite and respectful, yet also very, very clear in what he wanted to say. So I'm intrigued as to why have they done that? Why have they seemingly undermined their own position? Now, as we know, I definitely think the media has an agenda with everything, every piece of content that goes out there. There is an agenda behind it, which makes this all the more intriguing. And the only conclusion that I can come up with, the only conclusion that I'm led to is, well, are they now finally, is the dam starting to break? Are they now finally seeing that public opinion's turned to such an extent that they're going to try and create the illusion that people like us have been represented all along. That's the only conclusion I can come to. Like rats deserting a sinking ship, they're going to try to absolve themselves of any attachment at all to the vehement and despicable propaganda that's been getting spewed out for the last 2 years. If they do think that, well, they're stupid, because we're not going to forgive them, we're not going to forget. We've seen them, we know who they are, and we know what they've done or what they've attempted to do. Other important aspects here related to this. If you go on to Sky News YouTube channel and view the 2-minute video there, then read through the comments. I've read through loads of the comments this morning. I've not seen a single one that doesn't wholeheartedly support what the doctor says. And I don't think that's anything to do with people's view on the jab. I think it's more to do with people's views on, what freedom is, what a free society is, and what its citizens, what rights they should be able to have in that society. I think it relates to bodily autonomy, and I think it relates to a respect in this country that the majority have for bodily autonomy, for freedom of choice, for freedom of expression, freedom of choice, the right not to be coerced into making a medical decision that you don't want to make. I detect a unity building. I've said it for a long time, even though the media have tried to try to create this atmosphere of disunity. I think there's more unity than disunity in this country, and I think it's building. So this doctor, he's not a hero in my opinion. Heroes are, people who pilots who got into planes to fight the Battle of Britain, and, people who got into rowing boats to sail across the channel to rescue soldiers trapped on the beaches at Dunkirk. He's not a hero, but he is brave. And I have got massive respect for him, particularly the way that he elaborated and he articulated his position. I hope now that his colleagues back him up. He said himself in the video, there's one colleague that that's on board with him. You could tell all the nursing staff, his staff, I presume, are on board with him. Let's hope others find the guts and the courage, not just within his team, but in the NHS more widely, to come out and say, I agree with this. This is what I think. So he's a leader. He's protected his own staff. He's stood there and he's represented many, many people in this nation and across the world. Credit to him. I've got massive respect for him. And I hope, as I say, that he's backed up by the number of people working in the NHS. That quite clearly there are a number of people working in the NHS who don't agree with any of this. So let's hope, fingers crossed. And just as a last point to those who are, I've noticed as well that there are some who are saying this is stage, this is propaganda, this is let's stop making a negative out of it. Let's acknowledge it for what it is. A doctor standing up, representing millions of people who've been crying out for a long time that we want people like him to stand up and represent us, and he's done it. So let's enjoy this success. And, let's celebrate the wins when they come. This is massive. This could be hugely pivotal. I've said for a while the first country to fall will be England, either England or the US, and I think it's going to be England. The domino is going to fall, and it's falling. The narrative is collapsing, and this just plays into our hands, so let's enjoy it. Anyway, I want to get your opinion. What do you think about this? How positive are you feeling? Do you think that more doctors, nurses and employees in the NHS are going to come forward and back him up? And yeah, just leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think. I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.